Dillon, that's right, Tom Dillon, the lifetime liberal. Today is Thursday, May 28th, 2026. The title of this rant is The Texas Senate Race is going to be a classic good versus evil. So Ken Paxton won the Republican primary against the 24 years in the Senate, John Cronin, almost by 2-1, most of it because Trump endorsed him. At the same time, John Cronin was ahead of a number of subcommittees, and he brought the bacon home to Texas. Don't know if Ken Paxton can do that. Also, Ken Paxton has huge ethical issues. I just want to bring up a couple quick things, is that in the Senate race with Cronin and Paxton on the Republican side, they had less people voting than Tal Rico and Jasmine Crockett did on the Democratic side. And of course, Texas is a Republican state, a big Republican state. And if you lose that state, you lose a lot. So this is going to be a big election. And there's going to be a lot of money put into this election because he was not the choice of the Republican Senate campaign committee. And they are going to have to put a lot of money in to make sure that he wins. And of course, this is money that they could use in Ohio, in Maine, and in North Carolina, where they are also going to have significant races, competitive races against Democratic opponents. Now, I want to point out that Cronin ran his race strictly on the fact that Paxton has huge ethical issues. But guess what? They voted for him. Now, remember, it was a smaller amount than the Democrats had. But the reason they voted for him was because he was a bad guy. Yeah, that's why they voted for him. And will, let's say, saner heads show up in the Republican Party when it is time for the actual election? Will they go for this guy? Now, Paxton is, as the Attorney General, I mean, here's just a couple of his issues. As the Attorney General, they recently settled a case where a pedophile only got, according to his office settled a case where they only wanted the pedophile to get 2 misdemeanors and 1 day in jail. I think the judge insisted on 60 days in jail. But again, Tal Rico was going to run on the fact that they let this pedophile go, basically scot-free, without anything. And I don't even think he had to register as a sex offender. And 1 day in jail, holy Christ, I can't believe that. And then, of course, he's having big issues with, as his divorce is going to come up. His wife says that they are getting divorced because of biblical grounds. And we know that he had an affair. He went to great lengths to try and hide the affair. Another big thing about it is that he went after Medicaid expansion in Texas and tried to get rid of it, tried to block it in Texas a number of times. And the medical part could be a big factor in this race, because right now, because there is no Medicaid expansion in Texas, right now the percentage of uninsured Texans under the age of 65 is almost 20%. And in this great state of New York City, the uninsured rate is just above 5%. Now, in terms of children, it's 13.5% in Texas and only 2.5% in New York, with the national average being about 6%. So that means that Texas has double the percentage of children uninsured in Texas than anywhere else in the country. And again, Texas refused Medicaid example. And I guess, again, Paxton brought suit to block Medicaid expansion, whereas Tal Rico is basically saying, hey, healthcare is a human right. And he is actually advocating Medicare for all, so that anyone can buy into Medicare. And let's just say, because of the ethical issues that Paxton is having, Tal Rico has lots of ammunition. Now, again, you don't win an election just by being against something, being against the ethical problems of Paxton. You have to be for something. Now, Tal Rico has an excellent thing on the healthcare issue. I'm sure he has many other things that are going in there. But what this is coming down to is a classic case of good versus evil. A good guy versus a bad guy with multiple ethical issues, and a good guy who wants Medicare for all, and who says that healthcare is a human right. And the other thing about that is that this guy, Paxton, just doesn't campaign well. He doesn't even come off as a good guy. And they're going to have to spend so much money to try and get him elected. It's going to take away from other states. And I say to my sisters and brothers, especially those who are in the state of Texas, but we're also looking at this throughout the nation as we're coming up on election. Paxton is the epitome of a bad guy. But do you want to vote for someone who is in favor of health care for all, who is in favor, and I'm going to use Texas as the example, the Texans like Tal Rico, who wants to help the average working Texan, whether they be white, black, Latino, East Asian, whatever, as opposed to Paxton, who wants to help only rich white males and will use as many illegal things as he can try to get it down. So this is what it's coming down to: a really good guy versus a really bad guy. And this will be quite the indicator of what probably is going to happen throughout the nation.